Hey, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Big Ben Fishing Report. Captain Kenny Mullins, Captain Pat McGriff. So we're a little late this month due to Hurricane Debbie. Pat, how'd you fare?
Real lucky. Few limbs, no damage, no losses.
Yeah, we didn't have much damage. It was very minimal. We did have a tornado go behind our house, same spot it always does, but outside of that, very minimal.
Well, we got really lucky, and so did Keaton proper. Did not have any surge. Very few. I haven't seen any roof shingle damage or any damage at all. I'm not saying there was zero, but the worst of it was to the south of us. Horseshoe, I understand, really got slammed not only with surge but a lot higher wind gust and wind maintained than we had. I don't think we had 40 miles an hour, maybe 45 at my house. I've been through three with 70 something, 65 to 70, and we didn't get that this time.
We did at my house. It got pretty wicked there for a little while. The next day I was at Cedar Key, assisting with the United Cajun Navy on the sailboat that had been blown up into the marsh, and all of their docks on the. So if you ever go to Cedar Key boat ramp, when you pull up, looking at the water, there's the dock where the bigger boats put in, and on the right hand side where the boats go under the bridge. All of those docks were in the parking lot.
Hmm.
But we went out and we went out there to the sailboat and tried to help those ladies, and we were out maybe a couple hours. By the time we got back, the fire department was already there, and some county city workers, whatever they were, and they were already putting the docks back in place.
The same day.
Same day,
Keaton, it took us what, 4 months?
if not more. Yeah, they got right on it, but
From September to July, it was June when they put the dock back out up at the Keaton ramp.
yeah, that's right.
All right.
Yeah, it was. But I mean, and when I first pulled up, there was a lot of debris, a lot of at the boat ramp there. There was a lot of debris and two by sixes, and probably off of those docks that got pushed out of the water.
Right.
And we came back, it was like they had it cleaned up. It wasn't like nothing ever happened.
That's outstanding.
Yeah. Now the a lot of the clammers they were coming back in. We were talking to them, and they had a lot of devastation in their on their clam leases. But yeah, it's part of it. When these storms come through, we were very fortunate. I was worried it was going to be even worse, and as hot as that Gulf has been.
Yeah, that surprised me. I don't know what held us together, except it just wasn't a size storm. The center of it was not as powerful and sizable as I dare you. It looked bad right at the end on the chart on the map, but it wasn't as big an area.
Right. So have you been fishing?
Yeah, I went yesterday scouting and more looking at water, and then fished. It was pretty slow. I settled in on a color of water. Um, I caught a 23-inch red. Just happened to be where I was fishing. Uh, the water's closed out up above Warrior Ditch. I'd say about halfway between Sullivan Camp, otherwise known as Brown House, whatever, and the Warrior Marker. Somewhere in that area, you pretty much lose the color so bad. I went all the way to Mullet Creek, and there wasn't 6 inches of visibility up there. There might have been a foot and a half right out there in front of Sullivan Camp. I came on down between there, between Yates and Adams, and that water was looking good. I caught two shorts, I think, three black sea bass keepers, and then waited on the tide to flip to see if it made a difference. It made a big difference. Caught a keeper trout and then like six shorts and seven or eight different casts. Some on plastic, some on cut, and two or three of them on live bait on the short. So I was done. I need to catch some more bait, so I quit fishing. But those fish were about 6, 7 foot, where I was in about 4.5, where I caught the red. Water cleared up as I went out, and but it wasn't clean. I mean, it wasn't clear in 7, 8, 9 foot of water. I checked out some of that, and it was about half as dirty as the water inshore of it. But like I said, that I was told that it was clear all the way to Grassy from the beach, and it's scallopable, or you can scallop in front of Deacle. That water's clean enough, and you might could scallop all the way to Jabbo, but there at the beach and Deacle is clean enough. I mean, that's provided the wind doesn't blow some of that down here. I don't think it will. That's a good bit of distance there. It's about 3 or 4 miles from that dirty, sure enough, dirty water.
Yeah, and I haven't been out scalping since the storm, but I did get a report today that said that they're finding them in the same general areas, just pushed out more.
Well, I figured the fresh water will keep pumping out of that swamp, and probably stay dark from Warrior to Finn Holloway, maybe for a month.
Oh yeah, easy.
The fresh water is going to hold that stain long. It's going to hold the debris and the stain, which stain is nothing but micro debris. But for our argument's sake, talking to fishermen, the stain's going to be there probably through this until it gets cold. Uh, but that's good. The part that's bad is how dirty it is.
Right. Yeah, when I went down to Cedar Key, that of course that was the day after. It was like chocolate milk.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty much what you got, but it's red. It's got red
Yep.
stain in it up north. 6 inches of visibility, maybe. Really dark.
And that's what we had last year.
Right. About the same area. The cutoff's about the same, but that's just the amount of creeks. That's when you start having creeks versus not having them.
Right.
And from Adams all the way to Grassy, there's a creek probably every mile. There's one every eighth of a mile north of there. So 8 times the fresh water. That's why you get the color and the stain and hold it.
Yep. And not just that, you have rivers and
Yeah, you got a couple of quote unquote rivers.
yep.
I heard of 2 reports from Osceola from Friday, and they caught their limit of trout on pinfish, and um, I think one crew had 3 of them on gulp, and they reported having clear, dirty, and filthy water. I think is what the boy put. It's 3 different classes of water. He said he caught fish, except for the dirtiest. But I don't. I would have thought that Osceola and St. Mark's, with the amount of fresh water, that it would all have been pretty bad. But they're far enough away that they didn't get the stir. I don't guess they got the stir that we did.
Right. Yeah, I haven't been up that way. I honestly I probably won't get out until maybe Saturday. Um, but I'm just going to fish it just how we did last year. I figure the stain's going to be there, and it's gonna move some fish around and just try to find that line. I may probably even run south. Uh, Try some
Well,
different stuff and
I don't think I'm gonna do a gamble on South unless I get my head beat in tomorrow. I've got a trip Thursday and Saturday, so I got a day in between to scout and maybe refine it and tune it up. But I think staying in the right color water is going to be the key. And we're not supposed to have enough breeze to fish south. If it's 5 mile an hour, that means zero usually. And that's what they gave for tomorrow. 98 degrees and 5 mile an hour winds.
I'll be thinking about you.
Okay. Well, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
But I was catching fish on Pink Ghost, bouncing. Um, Caught 2 blacks on it. Is the reason I threw it when the tide flipped to see if but there was some areas where you could throw it without grass, and some areas you couldn't hardly throw the cork. So there was still grass out there, but it wasn't a blanket of it like it was 2 weeks ago, or last time we gave a talk, I guess. it was really bad, and it has been bad. It was terrible in the last up until this storm. But the shrimpers apparently have quit. They're not all of them out there shrimping, so they're not moving it around as much.
Yeah, and the fishing had been decent before the storm. It
Right.
was,
Yeah, I had
you still had days where no wind, you struggled to catch trout. Not, I shouldn't say struggle. I mean, it wasn't as easy to go home with a limit. You put a nice box together.
right. Well, I caught a limit on of 10 fish on the 18th, 28th, on the 28th of July, and then the Friday before the storm. Uh, Maybe it was a week before that. We caught nine. I had a 7-year-old on the boat, so I was kind of having to babysit him, and he caught the biggest fish of the trip. But we had it was still tough though. We didn't have enough breeze, and the larger fish just didn't want to move. You can be out there, and all of a sudden the breeze double up and catch bam, bam, keepers, and you just drifted the same water, and you couldn't get a bite from them. So they're out there. They're just waiting for there to be enough water movement and aeration or whatever it is they want. Aeration, I call it.
Yeah, I know I'm going to have to shift because I know everything where I've been fishing's out of play.
Well, that's where I've been up there. You,
Right.
but your shallow water, your red fishing is definitely shot
Yeah.
in shallow. But we, like I said, that red was 2 miles off the shore, and he was you know he was not on a rock pile. I fished some rock piles hoping to find more reds, and of course, the only thing I caught in there was on those were short trout and black sea bass.
But even on most of my trout, I was catching 3 to 4 feet of water, and where I was catching those at, that's out of play.
Hmm. Yeah, I know. It's it's just start over time.
Yeah.
That's what I was doing yesterday, trying to cover as much water and fish three. I'd fish three baits and move regardless of what I did, just to try to establish where they wanted to be.
And I haven't been fishing live bait at all. I'm probably going to have to rethink that.
I think so. That or cut bait.
Yeah.
The cut bait might be preferable the darker you go.
Right.
Um, I was spraying bang on my plastic, but I do that anyway. But in that darker water, when I got out there in 7 feet, I was spraying it about every. I was spraying it every three cast or two casts.
Yeah. Travis Andrews said cut bait. Yeah. We went over the Swanee River. Was it yesterday, Brandy? Yeah. Yesterday. Yesterday we had to go to Lowe's and get a bunch of lumber, and it's high,
Oh yeah,
high, and it's not crested yet.
yeah. I saw it going to live up cut side. It's
Yeah.
moving. It is moving.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I got some friends down the lower end of it that I'm worried about them getting stuck there or not being able to get back home.
Yeah.
What's it? What level is it at?
I don't even
Oh,
remember.
I just wondered if you knew.
I did. I looked, but I can't remember now. But it's well, when that storm got when it hit land, it just slowed way down. And I got some friends in Pennsylvania I was talking to that it was devastating up there.
Oh yeah, they got flooded. They got a whole lot worse situation than we did.
Yeah, and Live Oak was bad flooded.
The Debbie in 2012 was twice the water that this one was. And it was one that gave us black water. And I remember Dave Malone and I fished. We turned south until September from a June storm. Debbie, that one hit in as a tropical storm. It never made it to hurricane status. And yet it put down more water than anyone that the last 20 years. Michael might have put down more water, but not for us.
Right.
And this region, in other words.
So
Yeah,
what's your thought on the future from the next couple of weeks?
I'm going to I'm going to work that edge and try to work the dirty side of it because because it's August and we're in doldrums and we won't have much breeze, you're going to need the darker water. I hope that the formula works to move darker than you think you need to be, and unless the breeze is up. And then as you get more breeze, you can shift back down in that clearer water. I think a cork and plastic would probably be a really good idea. Short leader,
Yep.
I'd shorten my leaders in that darker water and say, okay, if I can call you up, you're going to have to come up to find this plastic. I'm not going to try to put it down there to you where the visibility is so bad you won't be able to see it if you swim by it.
Right.
So the fish has got to commit to coming up, and cutting the foot off the leader generally works. And but experiment with it. White, lime truce. I'm preferential to candy corn. That's one of the colors I got Assassin DeVille. Candy corn will catch a lot of fish in this color water. The space guppy and the lime truce will work also.
Do you know how much rain we got?
You up there? Or no, I don't.
You know how much you got?
I got less than 2 inches according to the what bucket. I did all my buckets were put up except for one little one. Usually I have bucket. They said we're going to be 80 mile an hour. It'll blow your buckets to your neighbor's house. So I didn't have any out, and I don't have a gauge. But I usually just cut in half a bucket, whatever lands in a bucket. If you a pickle bucket, you cut it in half. That's generally about what you got.
Yeah, I
Um,
don't.
I'm guessing 2 inches, not over that. I've had a lot more rain.
We got a bunch. It got wild there for a little while, but we didn't. We lost power. We had it back same day.
We were 2 days on power, but we usually are
Yeah.
minimum. Uh, 2 days and the next evening, I guess. Yeah, yeah, it was actually about 30 something hours. But I was so proud to get it when I got it. I got it at 9 o'clock at night. My A shout out to Tri County and to Scotty at Tri County for staying out there with it, and because my power wasn't on at 8:40, and I went back in the house. We've got a light pole, and I was on the generator watching TV, watching the Olympics, and I came back and it was on. So within 20 minutes, it was 9 o'clock at night. They were still working out there, and I really appreciate it because with our animals and Joyce's asthma, it really makes a lot of difference to have that AC.
Yeah, I can't remember what day it was. Maybe I can't remember, but we left the house and it was early in the morning, 7:30 somewhere in there. And we were going down 27, and we looked over, and the linemen were in a pond, literally up to their chin in water, stretching cable or stretching wire.
You should have taken a picture of that.
Yeah,
Man, well, they're devoted in there, and I appreciate them. We had guys from Oklahoma clearing trees on the beach road. Kiowa was the name of the power people. Kiowa, and they put in long hours too. I saw them the first night, and they were out there at 9, 10 o'clock. Um,
yeah. And I asked Stephanie before we came on, how her places were doing. She said that everything was good. They were operational. So if you need a place to stay, get a hold of Stephanie at Keaton Beach Vacation Rentals. We're at the Keaton Beach Trading Post tonight. Um, Obviously, it's
yep,
in good
everything's
condition.
intact here
Yeah,
and dry. We
yeah,
we She's less than 400 yards from the ramp, so if that tells you anything as far as where that no water came in here, um, it's a miracle, but that eye came right here. About 12 hours out, they were saying it was coming straight to us, and then they started flipping it back to the left, back west, and I thought, oh Lord, if we don't need that. And then as it was, it came right back in here. The eye did just like I did. You like it followed a trail. It's unbelievable.
yep.
But like I said, I really pray and feel for those folks down south that got hammered.
Yeah.
Have you talked to Brent?
Yes.
Is he good to go?
Yeah. Yeah. Everything's good there.
Where does he live? Well, exactly.
He lives in oh yeah.
Trenton?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know he was that far off the coast.
Yeah. Yeah. He's off the coast.
Okay.
That's why he bounces between Horseshoe, Swanee, and Cedar Key, because they're all about the same for him.
Mm-hmm.
And
Is he doing any fishing?
he hasn't. He's building a new house.
Oh,
I actually talked to him earlier. I seen on Facebook that I believe they're doing the slab today. So
well, he's starting to build a new house.
right
I don't think it counts until you get the slab up.
now, right before the storm,
Damn.
he was killing the fish. He's having it was getting right, and I went out the day before the storm, and it was not that good. The bite wasn't that good. You know, I really thought it was going to. That pressure just kept rising and rising and rising. I'm like, ah. So give me a good excuse, anyways.
There you go. Well, I have been in front of some storms, not hurricanes. Freshwater fishing it is phenomenal.
And that's why we went. We figured,
Right, right. I've been in some storms that I shouldn't have been, that I stayed too long on fronts that came in. And West Point, I like to dive in West Point.
now I talked to Captain Paul Tyre, got a report of Lake Seminole. He said the mayflies are hatching like crazy.
This late,
Yep.
August,
Yep.
middle of August. Whew, I used to love to catch, take a fly rod out and beat the banks on in mayfly season.
Yeah, and I mean they've been hatching. You know, I guess this is just another hatch, but he said it's been on fire.
That's some fun fishing.
Oh yeah, and then he said the bass have been killing frogs, you know, topwater frogs. But
You couldn't give a frog away when I was fishing. That's how old I am. When I was bass fishing 100 days a year, that was 34, 35 years ago.
now
You
before
couldn't give a frog away on Lake Eufaula, but you didn't have any hydrilla in
and
there.
they got plenty of hydrilla on Lake Seminole.
But they got plenty in Eufaula now.
Yep. And before we come back on next month, grouper season will be opening. Well, gag.
Yeah, all what, 20 days of it?
15 days.
Yeah, y'all sharpen your hooks now. You got 15 days to go to catch a gag grouper. Thank you, Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission and
And the Gulf
Commissioner
Federal
of
Fishing
Khalil,
Fisheries.
whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have less than, if you add it all up, you're gonna have less than 3 months that you can catch a fish that you want to catch, whether it's an amberjack, a triggerfish, a grouper, red or gag, or red snapper. You're gonna have less than 3 months of the whole year that you're gonna be able to keep one.
Justifies that $800,000 million boat.
But when they're running 100 miles, who was it that I asked? I said, "Well, how far did you have to go to catch a red snapper?" And he said, 106. And I said, 106 feet deep? He said, no, 106 miles. And I said, I'm not red snapper fishing anymore.
No.
106 miles. And that's a short trip. Did you read the one in Woods and Water where Barry Hart, the bee man, went 360 miles round trip
Yep.
out of Steenhatchee? Congratulations, Barry.
Some
That you made it
expensive
back.
fillets.
I don't even want to think about what that fish costs. But it's not that. I don't want to ride in a boat 180, 90 miles
No.
to do anything. Not to do anything.
That's like when I went out there to try to help those women on the sailboat. Could you imagine riding that storm out in a sailboat?
In shallow water, which makes it worse because it would be rougher.
Oh, they're
Was
really
it a swing keel or a fixed keel?
fixed keel.
I'm surprised it didn't knock all their teeth out. It'd pick you up and drop you, and you'd be hitting the bottom.
Yep. So we got to them the next day. They were 80 yards up in the marsh, 5.5 foot keel, 3.5 foot rudder below that. And said, "Do you think you can tow me out?" No.
Couldn't get them out with anything less than a Chinook helicopter.
Yep.
Hmm.
And then refused to.
My question is, what were they doing in a sailboat before the storm anyway?
I'll have to tell you that story when we're not live.
Okay.
It's a good one.
It ought to be.
It's a really good one.
Well, when you left them, they were still living on. They were still on a sailboat.
Oh yeah, yeah. Before I went down there, Todd, the founder of the United Cajun Navy, he called him and said, "Hey, do you need any supplies?" "No, we're good right now." So before I went, I called him and said, "Do you need any supplies? You need us to bring anything?" "No." Another man from Sarasota Search and Rescue, he came up, met us there. Same thing. "Do you need any supplies?" "No." We we offered to bring them to shore. It was 2 women and 2 dogs. We offered to bring them to shore, get them a hotel room, get them cleaned up, something to eat. "No, I'm not leaving the boat."
Why? It's not going anywhere.
"Yeah, well, someone will claim it." "They ain't getting this boat out of here." And I got some pictures of it. It was, anyways. So
Hmm.
based on the story that they told us, we contacted law enforcement and said, "Hey, this is what's going on. There's people out there." Well, the ladies contact the Coast Guard, but the Coast Guard will only come if your life's in danger.
Right.
And obviously their life wasn't in danger at that
Right.
time.
Unless you're dead. Now they'll come if you're dead.
Right.
They'll come to get the body before they'll come to get live people.
The FWC said they wouldn't go the day of the storm or the day after because of the winds. And they said they need an airboat to get there. I was able to get there in my boat. So anyways, we got back to the dock, talking to the officers, telling them what was going on. The Sarasota guy shows up. He's like, "So what are we going to do?" I said, "There's nothing we can do." And he said, "Well, this this is your show. You tell me what you want to do." I said, "We went out there. We offered to bring them to shore. Offered to get them a hotel room. They didn't want to listen. They didn't want to leave the boat. Said they need supplies." So he he called them. We'd recorded everything that way. We covered ourselves and offered them one more time. "No, we're not leaving the boat." So the FWC went back out there the next day to check on them and said, "Look, you got to leave the boat. You need to leave it voluntarily, or we're going to have to take you. We're going to give you till 4 p.m. I don't know what happened after that."
Hmm. Hmm.
But as soon as we left, I got home and the lady texted me, "Hey, I got enough water for, what was it, 2 more days, I think. And we need 3 gallons of water a day. And I have enough storage to hold 3 days worth of water. Can I pay you to bring me some water?" I said, "I just offered you supplies before I came. It's an hour and a half drive for me. No, I can't help you."
Yeah. Let her pay someone else. But you did everything you could. They're not in the right head.
Yeah.
They're not in their right mind.
Yeah.
Well, they won't have it'd have to be another storm to float them out of there,
Oh yeah.
because if I even a 5 foot tide probably wouldn't float them,
No.
wouldn't pull that fixed keel out of there.
No.
Well, what attitude was the boat in?
Boat was in good shape.
No, I mean, look, leaning.
Oh no, it was upright. That's what I was going to show you. If I don't know if I could, let me see if I can pull it up here.
So it had slammed it down and just stuck it in the mud
Oh
like a
yeah.
toothpick, in an olive.
Let's see if I can find it and share it on here.
Now you couldn't have pulled it out of there with a damn barge. I mean, with a damn tugboat.
I'm gonna put it up on the screen where everyone can see. This is
It's sitting up above the grass. Man, How did you get to her?
I pulled up to the bank and we walked all the way through her. Didn't sink in the. I mean, it was hard bottom.
Jiminy Cricket. No, nobody's going to claim that boat because number one, they couldn't get the work. They couldn't get it out of there.
No. Nope.
She'll have to hire somebody on land to pull to with a tractor. They'll have to pick it up with a tractor and set it on a trailer and trailer it out of there with a tractor. It's not going to float out. It's not going to float out of there.
No.
Huh. That's pitiful. I did a little sailing when I was in college. I had a buddy that we launched one and set up the mooring on it, and it was blowing so hard it pushed the mooring back over to the bank and with the brand new sailboat that had never been in the water before. And we sunk a little tending vessel with 10 horse. We sunk that trying to pull it back offshore and ended up leaving it on the bank and it blowing about 30 knots in Lake Martin, Alabama.
I do have a report from Osceola.
Which is?
Joel Baldry's been catching catfish from his front door.
Yeah, I believe it. That is it. Did it flood his trailer?
I don't know. I think it was floating. He
Come on.
he said you need to come to the show on Thursday in Tallahassee.
You or me?
He's saying you need to.
Oh, I can't. I'm fishing.
Yeah. You'll go next time he's away.
Okay. I appreciate the other invite. Um, has he been fishing before the
I
storm?
can't. Joel, have you been fishing? We'll see if he
Before the
chimes
storm.
in. Dale said, Joel, you need to come to the show. Called him out right there. Twice. How's the fishing been there? I would call him, but you don't have his number saved, do you, Brandy? Yeah, so I'm probably gonna, like you said, I'm probably gonna go to soft plastic, pop and cork, short leader.
Yep, plenty of scent.
It's probably gonna be that way. I'm just gonna estimate probably till October.
No, I'll be back catching fish.
No, I just mean the water.
Well, we're gonna have some stain through, but it probably
Give
won't
me your
hold.
phone, Brandy.
That water probably get really nice up there. From Warrior up to Eagle's Nest will probably be right in about 2 weeks.
We can't even get his phone number right. Travis said they got to eat. They do. I'm just talking about water conditions.
Hey, this is Joel Outlaw Charlie.
And then he doesn't answer.
Hey, Mr. Catfish.
Hey, this.
Yep.
He don't want to be
See
on.
how it is. Kind of like the radio show. Dale called him out.
Well, like I said, I heard from some Osceola boys that had caught some good fish.
Yeah. Yeah. Michael A. Man said saw some clear water in a few areas. Oh, he said to try again, Brandy. Out cork fishing, but most was dark or like chocolate milk. Dale said Captain Paul will answer. Joel's trying to call my phone.
Tell him your phone is a.
Yeah, I'm using my phone for the camera right now, Joel. I gotta wait till he quits trying to call.
Hey, this is.
There it is.
Yo.
Hey, you must be busy catching catfish.
Yeah, man, I'm doing everything you told me. Everything's working.
Good deal.
What y'all got going?
Just sitting here talking about the storm and a little bit of fishing. And have you been fishing since the storm over there?
Yes, yes, and we caught trout in about 2 to 3 foot of water. The water clarity ain't changed much.
They didn't get stirred up.
Man, I don't know. It's like they're getting closer and closer in. Like they may be a little early this year. Once we get a little cool weather, they're gonna push on in.
Well, looks like where I'm going over there on Sunday.
That'd be a good idea. I mean, we catch them a lot west between Osceola and St. Mark's and the mouth of them creeks. We caught a limited trout. I don't know, 3 days ago.
You must have been with Tanner.
No, Tanner's out of town.
You on Tanner's boat?
No.
So,
The only time Tanner catches big ones is when he goes with me.
you been offshore?
No, not yet. It's coming though. September 1st, we're gonna kick off on that. Right now, you got the snappers out. So, and you got gag gripper coming in September the 1st. We're gonna be full swing then, but it ain't but 17 days. So,
Yeah, that's a joke.
yeah, it is. It is. I don't know, but you got to follow the rules. I reckon it sucks, but maybe they'll change it.
Yeah,
They won't. If they change it, they'll change it to the bad, not to the good.
Yeah, you're right, Pat. I don't know why I even said that.
Okay.
Yeah, man, this weather's been hot though. It's kicking like today was 108.
Yeah.
It was nuts. You can't hardly breathe out here, even at night.
Yeah. It's
The mullet's creeping up. They getting fat. We got gator season starting next week, so we got a couple hunts lined up. Man, Tanner does. So it's going to be pretty busy next week.
yeah. Yeah.
There's a lot of gators starting to show up. The more it gets into this time of the year, they'll start popping up everywhere, and then we get them lower tides, and when you really start seeing them.
Yeah, that's typically, especially on the coastline, that's when I like to hunt them low tides.
Oh yeah, man, it's amazing how much the difference is. You go out there and swear up and down on high tide, they ain't a gator there, and then that tide drops right there, they just come out the woodworks.
You do you have any tags available?
I have to get with Tanner. I don't know if we got our last 4 that we had filled or not yet. I know that we had some available, but they were going pretty quick.
Yeah. Yeah, most of yours west over there?
Yeah, we got I think we got 2 hospitals that we're checking into right now with Lake Copham, so I don't know what's going to come of that yet. So we'll figure out. I'm hoping we can get them. There's some big gators on that lake.
Yeah, I feel for those guys that got the Swanee tags. That's whew.
Yeah, they'll probably wind up, and maybe they'll do right by them like they did last year during the hurricane with us. They extended the season,
Right.
and they're gonna have trouble killing them over there for a month or 2. It's crazy high. Ain't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. We went across the Louisville Bridge yesterday, and it was bad. I mean, it was crazy high.
I'm going to cross it.
When's it supposed to crest? Or I mean, they even talked about it cresting.
When I looked yesterday, it hadn't crested yet.
Yeah, so it's still right. I mean, it's a lot of water from that storm. That put out a lot of water.
Oh yeah.
Especially east of us. I mean, believe it or not, we didn't get that much down here. I mean, we might get some from north of us, but as of right now, we didn't get that much rain down here. We were very fortunate that it turned like it did last year. That storm last year, I'll tell you, it did the same exact thing, except this one turned a little sharper, a little quicker.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. We must have a wall up here. I mean, I ain't complaining whatsoever. I hate it for them guys down there because it's back to back. But we definitely been fortunate on this end.
Yeah, hopefully that other system they're showing out there doesn't develop into anything.
No, it's going to turn and go back up toward Bermuda and go back in that.
Yeah, I seen it. It's turning, going back out, ain't it?
Is it?
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, I haven't looked, but last time I looked, it wasn't doing that. But that's good to know.
Yeah, I used to didn't care about hurricanes until I started fishing and hunting for a living.
Yeah.
Now I don't want them to come at all.
You fish for a living?
Sometimes I'm pretend to. I'm not a weekend warrior, like Michael A. Man. A one-day warriors, I should say.
Oh.
But it's good talking with y'all fellas. Appreciate all the info y'all giving us, and we'll get up with y'all, Pat. I think you come up there soon, man. Maybe we can connect and all have a big powwow or talk about somebody anyway.
All right, Joel. Good talking with you, and you keep your head down.
Yes, sir. Y'all too.
All right. Well, I think we pretty much covered everything.
Right. Just like I said, people remember you're better off with the court than not a court when you're in dirty water. You're going to have to hold it still for him and let him come find it. He's not going to run it down when the visibility is 3-4 feet or less. The more that you're just going to have to go back to the cork and grub and find your color.
Yep.
I'm gonna be fishing live pinfish and pinfish. Shiner tails, the locals call them. I call them pinfish strips, and we'll catch some fish that way as well. But like I said, we'll see you out there on the water, and when scallop season doesn't close down here till what, September, the Labor Day weekend.
Yep.
Labor Day. Yep. Well, there wasn't nigh as many as there was a while ago, as the Battle of the New Orleans says, as far as at the ramp today and yesterday. There was about a dozen boats. So school's starting in Leon County tomorrow, and I imagine half of South Georgia's already gone back to school.
Yeah, and this scallop season's been really good. I know I've seen some people posting saying that there's not as many or they're small. I've been getting easy limits, easy and good size. In fact, you can go on YouTube. We did a show. I guess it was a couple of weeks ago. First State Fishing came here, and he did a show, and really good show. And we took them out and then came back, cleaned them, and they went to Steinhatchee, cooked them, and then he cooked some at home. But he's got a good show on there if you want to check out First State Fishing. But we'll be back in a couple of weeks, have a little more of an update and how everything transitions.
And what date are you shooting for us?
Let me find my calendar.
I can pull your calendar up.
Yeah.
What do you want to look at? September.
Want to do the 5th?
Thursday the 5th. All right.
Let's do Thursday the 5th. We'll see you guys back Thursday the 5th. Right? Or we'll be here. Oh no, I'll be going to Iowa. Let's do that Tuesday.
Well, that's Memorial Day.
Yeah, we'll do the
Labor Day is going to be what, the 2nd?
Yeah.
Monday.
Yeah, Labor Day would be that Monday.
How about Wednesday?
Let's do Wednesday the 4th, September 4th. I'll get it posted early this time.
All right.
So, all righty. Thanks, everyone.
Take care.